the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality. They may have a different name now. It's a division. They inspect our landfill on a regular basis. They came in October of 2024 and produced a report that was nearly identical to the report that was posted on the 28th of January. During our January 28th meeting, Mr. St. Columbia asked about it, and the mayor said he had not seen it. It had been emailed to various people, including members of the city council and Mr. St. Columbia and the mayor, but the mayor had not seen it and it had not been posted online. The letter was dated the 28th as well. And so we asked Mr. Wilson to come to give you an update on the landfill such that you can fully understand the context of these inspections, which, by the way, are not very bad. There's some things we need to do at the landfill, but from best I can tell, the landfill staff is doing an excellent job of what they got to work with the revenues that we have. And of course, this council has been very helpful in increasing our tonnage rate from $35 to $40 per ton. And we last week agreed with the East Arkansas Regional Solid Waste Management District on a new 3-year contract where we can raise our rates up to $48 a ton and then up to $50.50 a ton and eventually up to $53 a ton. And one other fact that I share before Mr. Wilson comes is that Jonesboro, which is Craighead County, and Blythe and Mississippi County are already charging over $48 per ton for their waste. And in Crittenden County, they were charging, we gave you the slip, they're charging $47.44 per ton for their waste. And we are charging $40 per ton for our waste. And out of that $40 per ton, we pay $2 per ton to the East Arkansas Regional Solid Waste Management District and $2.50 per ton to the state of Arkansas. So we net out of we have a net gross, it's really a gross, of $36.50 per ton at this point. So we're significantly behind other landfills in the state and what we're charging, which creates a separate challenge for us. But I won't steal all of Mr. Wilson's thunder. I'll let him come and make his presentation and answer any questions that any of you may have. Thank you.
All righty. Well, first of all, the landfill is under, well, I got some paperwork Ms. Simpson's supposed to be bringing. The landfill was under a COA, which was a consent order that improvements had to be made out there. And I guess the paperwork that you received from ADQ said that there was an overfill. That means that the cell that we were dumping in was overfilled. So we had to move some of that overfill back into the cell. So once we did that, then you got leachate, which is water up under the cell. We got written up for that. But like I say, that's minor. These are just minor write-ups. So we got a lot of things that we got to do. I have applied for a grant to redo the pumps out there. We didn't get that grant. I have reapplied, and Ms. Sarah Stocker from the Delta Region Authority said that we would probably get that grant. So we have reapplied for that. We have found out Thursday from Rural Development. We'll get the grant for the equipment and the road put out there. We've been written up for the road. So, hey, we are trying our best. We are working from sun up to sundown out there to make all of these corrections. And ADQ, Mr. Tobin, has told us we have made did great strides in improving how the landfill was before I got there. And we have some paperwork coming, and you can see the improvements that have been made. These are just minor violations until we get the landfill back on track. So we're going to have these violations. So we got to make these corrections.
And Mr. Wilson, if you will,
Yes.
Explain to the council about how getting the road graded. We had a contract with the county to help us grade a road. It had been done in the last week.
I have talked with the judge out there, and he is bringing us gravel out there. So,
But
the road hadn't been graded in years.
Right.
So with these reports that Ms. Simpson is going to bring, you will see that. You will see that. But we're making big strides that we got some equipment to work with now. We don't have all the equipment we need, but we got some. And it's just going to take time. This stuff didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be corrected overnight. So it's going to take some time. But we're getting there.
I'd like to say, I thank you for the wonderful job you've done in the past, and when
Yes,
I
sir.
got that report, I was shocked to see it.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, the things in there, and
Well-
that's why I was inquiring you.
Yes,
I know
sir.
with you there, it's gonna be taken care of.
Yes,
Our
sir.
landfill is in good hands.
Yes, sir.
With you
It
there.
will be taken care of. It's just going to take some time.
I know it, I
Yes, sir.
understand.
We have this
I have-
inclement weather that washes stuff out, and we got to do what we can do.
Some time ago, I had someone call me from Far City,
Yes, sir.
and they were bringing refuge to our landfill,
Yes.
and they damaged their truck, and they were all upset about it.
Yes.
I know,
Yes, sir. And we put implement, if we have to use a piece of our equipment to even push their
Yeah.
garbage truck or anything, we have forms out there that they have to sign saying
Yeah.
that no damage is done to their truck. So we've
Yeah.
implemented that. So we've implemented a lot of safety measures out there.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's one of the greatest assets we have is that landfill,
Yes, sir.
and I'm proud that you're out there to take care of it. You do a good job.
We
I
will,
commend you for what you've done in the past.
yes, sir. We're
Real
working
proud of
to
your
get,
efforts and work that you've done.
thank you. We're working to get from
Yeah.
under this COA, and then we're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We don't have many assets, so that's one good one we got. That's a money making.
Yeah,
I'd
but
like
it
to
was,
see
it was in bad shape, but we're bringing it back.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
with you there.
Yes, sir.
doing what you've done.
Yes, sir.
Thank
All right. You're
Thank
welcome.
you for your
Any
report.
questions from anybody? All right. All right. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. So I had a text message from Wilbur Strada, our mechanic and assistant sanitation guy. And so he had sent an estimate from the Tri-State Truck Center for our front end load truck. It's a 2018 Mack with 9,441 hours on it, 70,000 miles. And the estimate for the repair is $10,296. And they're putting on a turbo kit. It says a complaint was it brought a unit to the shop, connected to a computer, found active faults on the turbo speed, no signal, and engine brake open circuit. Removed intake piping to inspect turbo and found the shaft is broken inside the turbo. Removed charge pipes and found oil throughout intake system. At this time, the unit will need the turbo replaced, the charge air cooler removed and cleaned. Once disassembled, any other systems that show need cleaning will need to be addressed at that time. More diagnostics will need to be done for the engine brake open circuit fault, as the valve cover will most likely need to be removed. Upon customer approval, this will need to be diagnosed when the turbo is being replaced. And so that truck is sitting in Memphis. It was one of the two that's sitting in Memphis. We got two trucks sitting in Memphis. You just bought one new one, and these are the two old ones. One is in need of a whole motor for $54,000 to start out. And this is the one that we had gotten back, and it created a second problem, and that's the turbo stuff I just read to you. So the question would be, do you want to deal with that tonight? You want to deal with it at some point later? But it's just sitting idle until we can do something else.
Okay, he just sent that to you. He just.
Whoever sent this to me yesterday. So it was after I did the packet, yeah. But if y'all want to wait, I can put it on the 18th meeting. I just want to, I didn't have a chance to put it in this packet. So that being that, I believe the citizen participation, were we doing something on that tonight? Did I miss it?
No, here's, after talking with, the team that's putting this together, what we are going to do is, there are a couple of things that we're still needing to look into. I've called the municipal league, and we've had a lot of conversation with, I think there was an attorney who submitted the information. So we're gonna make sure that we have all of that outlined and, all Ts crossed, Is dotted, and then we'll come back to the table.
Okay, all right. All right, well, the last items, of course, we shortened this agenda for a bunch of reasons. One, we just had two last week, and two, we needed more time to put anything else together. So there's an executive session that the mayor is asking to deal with hiring, fire, promotion, and demotion of certain employees, and just to, I guess, calm or quell any concerns, is be in the vein of promotion. And Ms. Ramsey is the direct supervisor of two, and I'm the direct supervisor of the other two at this point. So if y'all would entertain that, because that's the whole agenda that we have for tonight.
Second,
There's a motion, and it's a motion by
Dr. Miller,
Dr.
second by
Miller,
Ms.
second by Mrs. Miller. Any discussion?
And that's for what now?
Promotion.
Executive session, Mr. Sanko. The motion is to go into executive session.
Oh, okay.
So, any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dr. Columbia,
Yes.
Mr. Messina,
Yeah.
Dr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
6 yes.
Everyone else, the city council and the mayor and the immediate supervisors of the employees involved, this has to be excused at this moment.
Is there a motion to reconvene? I'm sorry. Are y'all ready? Uh-huh. To regular session. Ms. Miller moves the return from executive session. Is there a second? Ms. Davis second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Dr. Miller? Yes. Mr. St. Columbia?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Etherly?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Messina?
Yes.
6 yes.
All right, you voted to come out of executive session. The question that must be answered for the sake of the Freedom of Information Act was any action taken while you were in executive session? No.
No action taken.
Mr. St. Columbia stated no action taken.
All right. Now, we're going to move on to, we got a couple of other things on the agenda. Under the mayor section of the updated handbook, request for review committee. And so we're asking for, maybe a couple of 3 council members, if you choose to participate on the handbook committee. It'll be me and Ms. Coates and maybe somebody from each department that will basically will meet once or twice to go through and make some adjustments to update it. Consistent
Update
with
the handbook that we presently have.
Yes, sir. Consistent with what the municipal league recommends, and we're going to also make a comparison to, I believe there's a Benton handbook that has some information on it, but we can share that electronically. I think we're to the point now we'd like to have input from some council members if you choose to do that. If you don't, we're just going to present it to you and let you go through it at some point, read it, and agree to update it. It was last printed, the whole book, in 2008. Signed by me. Yeah.
I'd be interested in.
And Dr. Miller has volunteered, anybody else? And it could be more than 2, I mean, how many of y'all want?
I don't have time.
Ms. Davis. So Dr. Miller and Ms. Davis has agreed to help. And what I'm suggesting is perhaps we do it by Zoom if we can. We'll notify the press. I don't know if they actually come or attend. All right. Then on the ditch on Hernando Street, we got a couple of quotes to build a box bridge, and they come in at greater than $50,000. So we're gonna go back and revisit that before we try to present something to you. So we'll figure out what you want to do on that. So probably another couple of weeks, Ms. Davis, before we try to fix that. We got a ditch that's out and the street is closed at Hernando between West Russell and West Park, and we need to repair that. So.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
Did you ever get that leak fixed out there in West Helena that had a bad leak out there recently?
Is that the one I text you about?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. They repaired that Sunday. They came on out Sunday and repaired the one on West Park. It was at 414 West Park, a vacant house, but it was on the city street. But it was running down the road. It's actually 3 over there, and that one was running in the road. There's the one on Sam and one on Ashland Street, but they're running in the ditch. We're gonna repair those 2.
How do we stand on the number of leaks that we're still working on? Is it under control? Are we getting some?
We are fairly much under control. We can do better than what we have. The one that's getting the most attention on Facebook now is in Paradise Cove. It's running pretty briskly, and we talked with them today about getting over there because the work order came in September, And so I need to ascertain why they hadn't fixed that other than the other issues that we have going. Some leaks look worse than they but that's one that we get persistent information on Paradise Cove. We got several throughout the city, but they've been repairing them
Yeah,
fairly routinely, and that includes our guys, Mr. Crawford with some, and the two different water bond companies have been working on some as well. Our tanks have not been in any jeopardy. Matter of fact, when I went to check the leak that I sent you the information about, I could smell the chlorine, so I knew it was our water.
Yeah.
It's treated water, you can smell it. Yeah. But they're doing better, and if you like, I can get Mr. Rose to come to our next meeting and make you some formal report as to our status.
well, I'd like to know how many, how we stand on them. If we
Yes, sir. Because and what he can do also is be an update on.
don't need to let us on fixing those leaks.
Right, we don't intend to, but we need to give you a report on Beach Street because it's bigger than what you may have imagined.
Yeah,
I mean, we got a hole as big as that council section in the road now. It's going to be a major cost to put the road back together after they fix the main. So they've repaired the main in front of the guy's house. He's not connected to it, so his stuff is literally running in the ground. That's a separate thing. But it's blocked going toward where Judge Brian Miller used to live, Pillow
Yeah.
Thompson House. It's something blocking the sewage going down the road between Miller and Perry Streets. On there, it's something blocking it. We're trying to figure out what that is. So we're gonna leave that open until they get it flowing clearly all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we fixed one problem, found another.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
always
sir.
gonna have those.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
when Mr. Rose comes, maybe he can also give us an update on his credentialing and stuff, because I know he was working on it.
Yes, sir. We'll do that. I believe somebody told me, but let me verify this. Somebody else in the department got a license. One of the licenses, which we will be asking y'all to address at some point in terms of compensation for people getting licenses. There's one other thing, we got these appointments that I put on the bottom of the list, so we come back on the 18th to start dealing with appointments. We have Mr. I believe it's Darrell Rydell who's here. Mr. Paul Rydell has been appointed or nominated to the airport commission by the mayor. When the commission is set up, the mayor got one appointment and the governing body got four, in essence. And the mayor takes the position at this point that he gets one and the governing body gets the other four. And the reason is that they haven't necessarily followed the reappointment process. I believe there's one person was appointed within the last 5 years, and that was Zipporah Monday. Otherwise, nobody's been appointed or reappointed in the last 5 years, so they hadn't been following the appointment process as they should have been, based on the records that I have. And so the mayor appointed Mr. Rydell, and we want you all to confirm that. Of course, the way the airport commission works, based on the ordinance and state law, is the mayor nominates, and the body votes them up or down. So to the extent that the mayor's nominee is not somebody that the body wants, the mayor will submit somebody else. It's not one of those things. I guess you could negotiate with the mayor and get who you want kind of thing, but otherwise the nominees come from the mayor. Different than some other commissions where like the commission sends a nominee to you. Like with Housing Authority or Port, I'm not sure on Port, and A&P Commission.
Yeah.
Those people come from the body itself, and then you.
It's my understanding that the airport commission is going to set up to where one comes off every year. That's my understanding. Have y'all talked to the airport commission?
Y'all being me, I have not.
You,
I have not. I don't know that the mayor's talked to them, but I think state. Oh, that's how it's supposed to be, but that ain't what they've been doing. You get a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year
Five
term,
on the commission.
and then they expire.
Yeah,
But they've been serving since 2008. And now, so when the vacancy came open, I just started saying, hey, listen.
have you talked to them?
Yeah, I've been to the meeting. So it's
You've been to the meeting?
yes, sir.
And what do they tell you?
Only I think one wants to stay for just a year. That's Mr. John King. He asked could he stay because he want to work on. He got a project he working on out there. I decided that since everybody's term was up, just follow the policy and replace it with new people that are here, that are pilots and can do the thing, that do what the airport commission needs, so the airport commission can flow. You got the same Miss Monday. I asked her what she served. She said, if everybody's going to roll off, she'll roll off at the end of her term. So I'm just trying to make sure we got good people on the airport commission.
I think we should invite someone from the airport commission to come and address, and we talk to them about it.
Well, we already.
I'd like to ask the airport commission to make a presentation, if you don't mind, and see what their plans are. I don't want to disrupt anything that's going on, but we need to have something understandable
If their term,
between your appointment and them. And yes,
if their term is expired, most of their terms are expired.
well, I think before we take any action at all, we need to bring somebody in. Let's talk to them about it.
I've already made.
Sir?
I've already appointed somebody, so I just hope you all approve who I appointed.
We haven't approved any action of that nature so far, have we?
I
I don't think the council has approved any of your nominations.
It's just, but I'm asking you to.
Well,
Okay, so let me make sure that I'm clear. So what you said, is that there's a person who the mayor has appointed. And so everyone else, there's not been any discussion about those people, correct?
Right. Well, so yes, but what happens when the thing is initially set up years ago, and it's under the state statute, the mayor gets one person. That's just his person, and then from that point forward, he gets to nominate the others with a 3/4 majority confirmation. The board gets to confirm. And so what he was asking to do with Mr. Rydell was to treat that person as his one appointment. He wanted to go on and get Mr. Rydell appointed. He did submit a slate of 5 names, and Mr. St. Columbia objected to it, and we didn't take any action on it. And it included Mr. Rydell's name on there, but there was Rydell, John King, Sandra Bagley, Zipporah Monday, and one other person. I can't think of who that is. It was in the packet. But at this point, I think there's some perhaps confusion with the airport commission because the mayor believes that he's appointed Mr. Rydell. Mr. Rydell believes he's been appointed. I think the guy that's being replaced saying, I ain't going anywhere. That's my impression. He hadn't said that to me. That's my impression. So at some point, that one needs to be settled or resolved one way or the other on the Paul Rydell appointment. I believe, is Paul a pilot? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's reasonable though that we know that the mayor is entitled to this one appointment, but perhaps Mr. St. Columbia is correct. Maybe we could have the commission come in and share, because it's not like we've been following, the fall off and the rollover and all that stuff all this time. I mean, let's just go ahead and let them come.
Put them
let
on the
them
next
share.
meeting agenda.
Yeah.
Well, I understand, and I brought it up because I was asked to bring it up. Mr. Dale Rydell is here, and the mayor was asked to bring it up too. But on the 18th, one of the things we're trying to do is deal more with appointments altogether. Several bodies that we got on the list, and between here and the 18th, I wanted to get you some information along the way. Now, I don't know if you want all these people to come, so you can hear from all of them, or you just want to hear from the airport commission. When I say all of these people, I'm talking about housing, port authority, A&P, all of that, because we put something on the agenda, but we kind of passed them and let them fall and all that kind of stuff.
I've got somebody who called me, wanted to be on the historical commission. Is there a historical commission?
It is.
Yeah,
I'd like to make a recommendation on that when it's time to do it.
I don't know if we have any vacancies on that. The mayor made an appointment maybe last year.
It's one vacancy.
That's a vacancy?
It's one.
Oh, well, you can talk to the mayor about that particular vacancy.
Okay, I'll get with you.
Yeah.
Someone called me and asked if they'd like to participate in that.
Yes,
the
sir.
historical commission.
Yes, sir. So is it the wish of the body that we come back to Mr. Rydell and to all of them on the 18th? That was
Well,
all of the airport commissioners.
I mean, if we
I
can-
would like to see us invite the airport commission to address this body, at our next meeting, and we find out what their plans are, what they're doing, and who they would like to take off one every year, and, you know. I'd like to invite them to come to our council meeting at our next
if it's- I
meeting.
mean, if it's understood
We get
that,
it resolved.
my view is if it's understood that the mayor has his appointment, just go ahead and then we can look at the other four and just approve those. I mean, because
I'm fine with either way. It's up to the mayor and the council. I just wanted to make sure I put the information out. That's it.
So you want to go ahead and approve this one appointment?
I mean, if the guidelines say that you have the opportunity to pick your one person, and I understand that concept because we have that in state government as well. The governor, she gets to appoint 3 sovereignly, and then the rest of them come from the body or whatever. So I mean, I understand the concept, and if that's who the mayor wants, that's who the mayor wants. I don't really see what we already have to. I mean, unless we just want to wait until the next meeting to approve everybody at the same time, but.
I just think, for the interest and sake of making sure that everybody's heard. I
Okay.
mean, he will get his appointment, but I think that the
No,
other
I'm totally in
four,
favor of it.
the other four,
Yeah, I
I
think-
think
why
that
not?
we should hear from them as
Do we need
well.
to hear from all of them?
I mean, if they want to send somebody who can be the representative.
I think Mr. Rydell has already been sworn in. I swore him in already, so
Okay.
I mean, so he's just, I need to try to confirm him because they won't let him serve until you all confirm him. So I've already sworn him in.
Mr. Mayor, I think the state law requires that we approve any appointment, so,
Just that,
sir, that we approve any appointment. So, and we need to appoint someone or allow him to do that, but I think we need to hear from the airport commission first, and then let's go with one appointment. Let's hear from the airport
If he
commission.
makes an appointment, I don't hear him saying he's gonna change his nomination. So it's kind of, at least as it relates to this one person, it's kind of foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
I think we can take this one up.
I don't want to take any action
Because
until,
what's the process for replacing the other members? I mean, who makes the nomination? And some-
That ordinance which- hold on. Because what I need to do is just share it with the ordinance. The ordinance mirrors the state statute, but basically, if my memory is right, and I read it this afternoon, is that the mayor makes the nominations and you all approve it. Set this 3-4 approval. That's the high bar on the approval.
But you're saying he's got one that he can just appoint. He can just,
that's a state law.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but and that one is kind of on the initial setup. This is not initial,
Oh.
but I think that's the way they did it. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but if
But if y'all got a minute, Shannon, can we get that ordinance?
I mean, I think the issue is if he's already sworn somebody in, even if it hasn't been approved by this body. City attorney's not here. And I don't claim to be him. But he can legally serve because the other term is expired. He legally serves until something else happens. And so the one appointment, I mean, I think we can dispose of it and move on. Then let the other people, if you want to hear from them, that's fine.
I mean, because he's entitled.
I can talk.
I have no objection.
Glad to answer any questions if anybody has any. This is very well.
answer any questions if anybody has any questions.
So there was one on tonight, the deadlines.
I don't want to say that's what happened.
I think before we make any appointments at all, we need to talk to the commission, to the group, before we, and one of them can come off and we can appoint, nominate whoever we'd like to put on.
He's already.
Well,
I think that, and this is what we've been having. You know, when I became, all these folks, our term has expired. Every last one of them term has expired except Mrs. Zipporah Monday. It was the last person.
what objection do you have inviting them here next week to talk to us?
If you let me finish, if you let me finish, I'm just telling you what it is. Only one person. Everybody's term has expired except Mrs. Zipporah Monday. She's the only person on there legally. Because everybody's term has expired. Nobody's saying, I think Mr. J. Hollowell appointed Mrs. Zipporah Monday. And her term will end sometime this year. So everybody else really doesn't exist.
What difference does it make if we invite them here next week, we talk to the airport commission?
And
at that time approve, whatever.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is all of them has expired except one person. So they're operating.
That's the way I feel about it.
Mr. Vail.
All right, well, what I'm about to share with you is a part of ordinance number 890 from the old city of West Helena. It was codified in the book when we consolidation into chapter 2.52. It's called the Airport Commission, and it follows state law, Arkansas Code annotated section 14-359, that's 103, lawyers say it sequence. It reads in relevant portion, that means I'm not reading all of it. This commission shall consist of 5 members, all of whom shall be qualified voters of the city of Helena or the city of West Helena. 2 shall be appointed by the mayor of West Helena and shall be confirmed by 3/4 vote of the duly elected and qualified members of the city council of West Helena. 2 shall be appointed by the mayor of Helena and approved by 3/4 vote of the city councils of the city of Helena. And a 5th shall be appointed by the 2 mayors above mentioned, approved by 3/4 of the 3/4 vote of both councils. All commissioners shall hold office for 5 years, provided that the 5 commissioners first appointed and confirmed after passage of this ordinance shall serve in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years each, to be designated by the 2 mayors, and therefore, upon expiration of their respective terms, their successors shall be appointed as above mentioned for 5-year terms. The council shall have authority to fix and prescribe the salaries paid to them. I believe that's probably all of the relevant portion on the appointment. I don't know if there is a section on reappointment.
Well, and because there's no longer a separate Helena and a West Helena,
Right.
then I don't know how much of that is applicable to what our issue is tonight. My thought is that because the council, from what I'm hearing, has the ability to appoint or choose or what have you, the other 4. The mayor has his 1, the council has their 4. As a council member, I mean, I have no objection per se to the list that was provided. I'm saying if there is somebody on that commission right now, because we've let go this long, who is still interested in serving on that commission, to me, I would like to hear from them. I would like to hear that they're still interested. I mean, if they're still interested, then I would like to at least afford them the opportunity to share that.
Before we do anything, we'd like to talk to them first, then
Right.
we just take some action.
Yes, and so
No objection.
I understand. I don't know what was said while I was in the room, so I did misspeak when I gave you. It's basically, it says that the mayor appoints all 5,
Yeah.
and you all approve all 5. Yeah, that's what that is. And we can give you a copy of this.
So I make a recommendation that we invite them to come in at our next meeting. We talk to them about it, and then we'll consider the appointment.
I don't think there was
That's
any-
my thinking.
I don't think there was any disagreement in that. The question was about one. I said, my opinion was, he's not gonna change his nomination and his appointment. You can go ahead and dispense with this. Either the body's gonna approve it or not.
Voted up. Voted down.
I don't have any interest in not approving it, so.
I'd like to hear from the airport commission before I do anything. That's what I'm saying. And then, any objection to that, hear from them first. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, it's sort of apples to oranges, because the reality is even if we all say no, I mean, he still has the autonomy to appoint that one person, so.
Really, what I mean, according to what that's saying, is that he
nominates all.
he selects all, and we vote him up or vote him down.
And the statute says all of it.
And we could continue to vote his nominees down. I don't think we want to do that.
Even though that's not taking into account the consolidated cities.
No, I mean, there's a state statute.
That's the state
Yeah, I just read it. There's a state statute that says he appoints them all. So,
That's all.
All five.
Probably need to go ahead and update our ordinance.
What's
We
that?
probably want to update our ordinance, don't we?
Oh, well, I'll get you these items scanned in and submitted to you by email
Okay.
and print. I know for me, I'd rather read it in my hand. And I'll get you the state statute printed out as well.
Okay.
I think that even though it's old, I think it's still about the same.
I'd like to nominate someone for the Historic Society,
And this ordinance was approved on the 7th day of March of 1968. Before Dr. King was assassinated, before I was born.
So is there a motion to approve by one appointment? So Ms. Davis moved to approve Mr. Paul Rydell to the Airport Commission. Is there a second?
second.
Mr. Anthony seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. St. Columbia?
no,
Dr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Messina? Mr. Etherly?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Abstain.
Mr. Messina?
Abstain.
I have 3 yeses, 2 abstentions, and 1 no.
so what does that mean?
So I'll continue to put it back on the agenda until you approve it. It's the thing that you're missing. The thing that you're missing is I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna report the people that I feel fit. You just get to vote on it. So you could have just said yes, because I'm gonna still do the same thing over
That'd be okay.
and over
That'd be okay.
and over.
But I'd like to hear from I'd like to hear from the
But you hadn't heard,
Airport
and I
Commission,
understand it, mistake.
what they're doing and what their plans are.
But they wanted you to know in time.
There's supposed to be one come off.
But you know that, but you still didn't. But I just want all of them are actually term has expired except one, and that's Mrs. Zipporah Monday.
Wait a minute. None of theirs expired because they can renew it and.
They have to with the vote. Am I correct, Chief of Staff? They have to be voting. All their terms has expired.
Okay.
That's
okay,
why.
all right. I'm
This
not gonna argue.
I mean, you don't have to. We're not arguing. That's why.
If we had nothing else, I'd like to move, we adjourn.
Just 1 second though. The only thing I'm still thinking though is if they were allowed to continue to renew every year without any sort of interruption, then how do we say that it's just over for everybody? If that's the case, then it seems to me, that they would have rolled off, they wouldn't be serving. I'm not sure I understand.
I think, Ms. Miller, that when you don't ask about it, the commission, nobody ever saw it. I started looking at the housing authority when A&P came up. And when we about the A&P, they choose from within the body. 7 years I've been on the city council. The first time we ever got an appointment to the airport commission was the poor Monday. Everybody was valid. They never asked us when somebody came up. Nobody ever asked. No mayor never said, "Well, I got this appointment." So I started doing them when I found out they was open. when I became mayor, when Mr. Edmund had a vacancy, something they wanted to fill on the A&P commission, I started getting this stuff together then. So here we are now. And when I went out to the commission, some folks didn't show up to the meetings. So then when they start hearing this, you're going to start looking at it. Oh, I've been here since 1975. And nobody ever brought it up. So what I'm doing now is trying to make sure people who want to serve on this board who has not been a part of it, the city council changes, so these boards should change. Everybody's having a fair chance to serve on these boards. I mean, if you're interested. So now that you're saying, one person said that they want to finish out 1 year, he'll come out. That's Mr. King. He wants to finish something. Everybody else is like, hey, I mean, Ms. Monday said if the body comes out, she wants to come out. If majority of the people are changing, she wants to come out. So give everybody a chance to serve. Who wants to serve? These people have been on here on this board forever, and no one has never said anything. I'm saying something else. You got different pilots who want to be a part of this, so let them.
What are the qualifications for being on it?
You have to be a pilot. You have to live in the city limits.
Okay, so all the people on your list are pilots?
At least one has to be a pilot.
Right,
At least one of the 5.
It's not mandatory.
All of the people, except maybe one of them, most of them were pilots. And most of 2 of them. And one of them is.
All of them on the
Brandon's
board,
working on her.
all of them on the board right now are pilots except one. And you don't have to be a pilot to be on the board, except one person must be a pilot. But I'd like to hear from the airport commission before we make any decision. Let them decide which one's coming off, and you make your nomination. That's all the thing I did, and I have no qualms with that. It's just a procedure I think it ought to be run. I don't want to disrupt something that is vital to our community, and that's my only concern.
Legally, there is no vacancy in public office. Most of the terms have expired. And the mayor is correct in the sense that the mayor appoints with the approval of 3/4 of this body. And I think that you all do need the commission. There's been issues that people want to know about, the financial reports of them. They're subject to the FOI, the same requirements as this body. There were people who called me, said you were having discussions, and they were curious about the last 10 to 15 years of financial documents and grants and budgets and whether you all were aware of it. I said there hadn't been any report that's given to me. I don't think it's one given to the mayor. But those were the general questions that the people were asking. But there's no vacancy in public office, so they run until someone replaces. The mayor can request that you all replace them all because all their terms are lapsed. Or you can do one at a time, however you all so choose.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, because at one point, Mr. Mayor, you and I both, there was a check that came to like $2 million to the airport. They didn't report to us what they did with the money. So and that's why you want to have, what are they doing with the money at the airport? We don't know. It came through, you remember me, it's $2 or $4 million. So we don't get a financial report. We should. I mean, so at some point, it's time to do some things different. I want to see it done the right way. I want people who want to be on the airport commission, want to serve, I want them to be on there. That's why Mr. St. Columbia has the majority and says that he wants to have a meeting. So
We can have, because we're not got them people.
Go home. Any other business?
Yeah. And I just want
I
to
move we adjourn.
and just for the minutes to the record, I'm completely in favor of having the current commission speak to us, and I would love to hear what they have to say. So I just want that to be said for the record. My view is if it's the mayor's discretion, it's his discretion. So we'll be arguing about it.
Yes, sir. Understood. Mr. Mayor, you done?
I made a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
All right.